I just got back from a listing appointment, and as we were walking through the house, I was pointing out a few things that needed to go before we take photos and hit the market. Now, get this wasn't their first rodeo. These folks had sold 4 homes before, and they stopped me mid sentence as we were walking around and said, "No one's ever told us this stuff before. You've got to make a video on this." So, here we are. Because the truth is, there are things sitting in your home right now that are quietly costing you money, and no one's been real enough to tell you. In this video, I'm spilling the tea on 10 things in your home right now that can turn buyers off instantly when you're trying to sell your home. Some of them are obvious, some of them might surprise you, and a few, well, let's just say they make buyers sprint for the door. If you want to make a strong first impression and not leave money on the table, this list is non negotiable. First, let's talk about kitchen counters. Because the moment a buyer walks in or sees the kitchen on Zillow, that's one of the first places that their eyes go. And what if they see a lineup of toasters, air fryers, coffee makers, and quarts? They're not seeing their potential counter space, they're seeing your routine. Now, I get it. You actually live here. You use that stuff. The coffee maker probably has seniority in your household, but buyers aren't buying your lifestyle. They're buying square footage and, more importantly, the feeling of space. And it's not just about clearing off the gadgets. Even when the counters are mostly empty, if there's a dish rack full of plates or last night's spaghetti pot soaking in the sink, that's all they're going to remember. It feels messy, rushed, and very someone else's place. This is one of the easiest wins when prepping your home, and it makes a huge visual impact. So clear the counters, shine the sink, and make it feel like the kind of kitchen a buyer would brag about. All right, let's move on from the kitchen to a room that's a little bit more personal: the bathroom. Here's the deal: no one wants to imagine you brushing your teeth, popping a pill, or plunging the toilet. It yanks people right out of that dream home mindset and drops them straight into your daily routine. And that's exactly what we're trying to avoid. So here's what has to go: toothbrushes, razors, shampoo bottles, anything you use on your body should be tucked away. Even if you gotta throw it in a sandwich bag and toss it under the sink for photos or showings, just do it. Prescription bottles or over the counter pills, gone. And the prescription meds, don't just hide them. Take them with you during showings, because safety first. You don't want to even question if you misplaced them or if someone took them. And yes, even the humble toilet brush and plunger. You and I both know that they serve a purpose, but in a buyer's mind, it's basically saying, hey, sometimes the toilet doesn't work when it's taco night. Also, this one's big. Make sure the toilet is clean, like sparkling clean, and put the toilet seat down. I don't care what side of the gender war you're on. When that lid is closed, it looks polished and intentional. When it's open, it looks like a frat house bathroom. Just like the kitchen, this is about creating a vibe. When buyers walk into a bathroom, you want them to feel like they're stepping into a spa, not into your morning chaos. Small changes equal big impact. Clean, clear, and hotel level tidy. That's the standard. All right, we've scrubbed the bathroom clean and shut the lid on the whole situation. Now, let's talk about first impressions, because nothing sets the tone faster than what greets you when you walk through that front door. Number 3 on the list is entryway pileups. Your entryway is the opening act. It's the welcome mat to the rest of your home. So it should feel like a welcome, not a warning. But what do we usually see? Piles of shoes, coats draped over chairs, backpacks, mail, keys, dog leashes, and maybe a rogue sock that somehow made it into the mix. Basically, the lost and found of a middle school hallway. Here's the thing: buyers step inside and they're making snap judgments. If the first thing they see is chaos, their brain starts subconsciously wondering if the rest of the house is just as cluttered. So here's the fix: Clear it out. If you've got a bench, great. Just make sure it's tidy. Add a sleek mirror or a neutral piece of art, something simple that reflects light and makes the space feel open and intentional. Skip the oversized plants in baskets too. They eat up space and shrink the feel of the room. Even if your family comes in like a tornado, for now, they're going to need to enter like it's a Sunday open house every day. It's a quick win. Most of us stop noticing our entry piles because we live with them every day, but buyers, they notice instantly. So give them something worth noticing, a fresh welcome into what could be their new home. Before we keep rolling, if you're thinking about selling your home, I put together something that will make your life way easier. It's my free seller playbook. It breaks down everything you need to know to prep, list, and actually win in this real estate market. I'm talking timelines, checklists, stage tips, all the good stuff I'd give to my own clients. Totally free to you, totally no pressure. Just hit the link in the description and grab your copy. Then come right back because we've still got some things to talk about to get out of your house. Now, let's talk about something that feels a little bit more personal, but it's just as important when you're trying to sell. This one can feel tricky because it's still your home, your memories, your values, your story. But here's the thing, buyers shouldn't feel like a guest in your home. They should feel like it could be their home. And that gets really hard to do when every wall is a shrine to your wedding photos, your kids, baby pictures, your graduation ceremonies, your cross-stitch Bible verses, or your proud supporter of yard signs. Listen, none of that is bad. It's your life, but when you're selling, the goal is neutrality. You want buyers mentally moving their furniture in, not trying to figure out who you voted for. So, what do? Simple. Pack it away like you're already halfway moved out. Swap in neutral wall art, leave picture frames empty if you have to. The point is to give buyers space, visual and emotional, so they can imagine their family living there. And honestly, this tip isn't about erasing your identity, it's about selling the dream. And the more blank slate your space feels, the easier it is for someone else to imagine it there being their dream home. All right, number 5. Pet parents, this one is for you, but I say this with love. If buyers smell your pet before they even see the kitchen, we've got a problem. Look, I know your fur baby is family, but to buyers, that litter box in the laundry room or that crusty food bowl in the corner isn't saying home, it's saying maintenance. Here's the deal. The shredded dog bed, get it out. The basket of squeaky toys, pack it up. The kibble encrusted bowls, scrubbed or stored. And yes, clean that litter box like it is being raided. Then, if you can, get it out of the house for photos and showings. Now, let's talk about the pets themselves. Please don't leave them home during showings. Whining dogs stress people out, and scared cats turn into hide and seek distractions. And buyers with allergies, if they see your pet in a listing photo, many won't even step inside. So here's the goal. You're not pretending you've never had a pet, just making sure buyers don't feel like they're buying a pet. So clean, neutral, distraction free. That's what sells. Moving on to number 6, bedrooms sell homes, but not when they look like someone just rolled out of bed 5 minutes ago. Unmade beds, crumpled sheets, piles of laundry, even in a gorgeous home. This stuff makes the whole space feel tired and chaotic, and that's not the vibe we're going for. You want buyers to feel like they just walked into a fresh space, a peaceful space, like a boutique hotel, not a teenager's room during finals week. So here's the fix. Make the beds, every single one. Tight corners, fluff pillows, think magazine cover. Tuck the laundry baskets out of sight and not cute corner of shame out in the open. And if bedding is stained, faded, or sad, just swap it out for something simple and clean. A white duvet set is an easy win that photographs beautifully. Buyers aren't judging your taste, they're looking for clarity and calm. And a crisp, clean bedroom gives just that. Next up, the tech tangle. If your TV has cords dangling like jungle vines, or your home office has a power strip out and about with 6 things plugged into it and a couple blinking lights for good measure, it's time to reel it in. Buyers don't see functionality, they see mess. And in photos, exposed wires instantly kill the aesthetic. It turns your clean, modern home into something that feels chaotic and unfinished. It's the kind of detail people don't think about until they see it, and then they can't unsee it. So here's the right move: use cord organizers, tuck wires behind furniture, unplug what you can for photos, and please hide the surge protectors that looks like it's powering a small command center. Clean lines, clean energy, literally. Now, number 8, trash cans and open bins. Yep, we're talking about trash. And you'd be surprised how often it makes or breaks a first impression. An open trash can in a listing photo, it's like the house is saying, "Welcome, here's where we put the leftovers." It doesn't matter if it's spotless, buyers will smell it with their imagination. So here's the rule: if the trash can has to stay, make sure it has a lid, it's clean and empty and tucked away, but ideally, just hide it completely. That goes for the kitchen, bathroom, office, anywhere a trash can might lurk. And definitely don't keep your large trash bin in the garage during showings. I've walked into homes where the seller kept the trash can in the garage, thinking they were being clever, but the whole garage smelled like hot garbage. Literally, not exactly dream home vibes. And while we're in there, let's talk about all the bulky stuff you got in the garage. You've got lawn equipment, totes, random boxes. Even if you don't park in the garage, buyers imagine that they will. So if it's wall to wall chaos, they can't picture their SUV fitting in there. Do what you can to clear it out or organize it like you care, because they'll care. Coming in at number 9, you need to remove your personal collections and clutter traps. Look, I'm not here to insult your Beanie Baby empire, your bobblehead shrine, or your entire wall dedicated to signed Braves baseballs. I respect the hustle, but it's time to pack it up. Collections, even really cool ones, are visual clutter. They pull the focus off the home and onto your stuff. Instead of admiring the built in shelves or open floor plan, buyers are mentally calculating how much you spent on Funko Pops. And it's not just collectibles. This goes for curio cabinets, fridge magnets, the junk drawer that exploded onto the counter, and yes, that corner where all the mail goes to die. Every little pile chips away at the feeling of space and calm. So treat this like a warm up for moving day. Pre-pack the collections, stash the clutter, and create a clean slate that lets buyers picture their things in the space, not yours. And fun bonus, you'll thank yourself later when it's time to actually box it all up. Okay, last one, and this one always gets a reaction. That mounted buck over the fireplace, it might be your proudest moment, but for buyers, it's a mood killer. Same goes for samurai swords, antique rifles, or even that giant fantasy axe you picked up at Dragon Con. It's not about judgment, it's about distraction. These items immediately shift the vibe from dream home to someone else's very specific personality. And that's the last thing we want when someone's picturing their future in your home. So, just like your collectibles and clutter, it's time to pack up the trophies and tuck the blades safely out of sight. Save the statement pieces for your next place. But for right now, we're selling the space, not your story. Now, if you found yourself nodding along the way to any of this or frantically making a to do list, I've got something for you: my free seller playbook. It's packed with simple, actionable tips just like these to help you prep your home, avoid rookie mistakes, and sell with confidence. Click the link below to download it, and it's free, it's fast, and it'll help you crush your sale. I'm Ben Dings, and I'll see you next week.